Hey team, thank you so much for watching this video. So you're able to get the most out of the 4-week progressive training formula. Now, this video is to run alongside document. So if you haven't got the document, make sure to comment below, get a hold of me so we are able to get that document over to you. Now, the whole idea of this video is to make sure you're getting the most out of this program and utilizing it the most. I also want you to communicate with me throughout the 4 weeks. So if there's any issues, you're not sure about anything, make sure to drop me a message through social media or even email me directly. So let's get into it. Now, first of all, this is 4 weeks, so it's quite condensed. Most of my gym clients will have the same program for a period of 8, 10, even 12 plus weeks. The idea that we can progress things means it's going to be over a good period of time. What we've done here is we've condensed it into 4 weeks. So progressing things every week can be quite challenging. Sometimes you can't progress something and it may take 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you progress it, particularly in the early stages. Most of my clients, when they're starting a program, for the first 3 weeks, we're just getting to grips with the movements. We're getting happy with executing those movements to the best possible quality. And then we're able to really get into progressing things. So bear that in mind when you're doing this. It is only 4 weeks, and sometimes, we need to take our time and make sure that we are safe and we are doing things in the correct way. One of the biggest things I always say with training is it's over execution, making sure your performance is where it needs to be. So sometimes you need to back off on the ego, go a little bit lighter to make sure that you're performing the movements as well as you possibly can. There's no half reps, it's full range of movement, it's contracting muscles, really contracting that mind-muscle connection and really getting the most out of every set and every rep. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now, week 1, and like any program, is all about you getting happy and comfortable with the movements and knowing what's coming in that session. Okay, so take your time. And the first thing we're going to look at is the RPE, rate of perceived exertion. Okay, so how hard you're actually working. And that is the scale. And this scale is actually in the document. And you'll see it's a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being very, very easy. 10 being really, really difficult. Almost, you're basically going to failure. Okay, now in week 1, we want to be hitting around the 7 to 8 mark. Okay, so 7 to 8 on the RPE scale. And that's going to allow you to get probably another 2 to 3 reps in reserve. And you've probably heard about reps in reserve, RIR. Okay, and this is very similar to that. Okay, so week 1 is all about you getting comfortable and familiar with the movements and hitting an RPE of around 7 to 8. Okay? Then moving on to week 2, that RPE is then you're going to be pushing more towards the 8 to 10. All right, so week 2 is all about bringing that intensity up, making sure you're working more over that week. Okay, so you're not necessarily adding weight to the bar, you're not adding any reps or any movements, all that stays the same, but week 2 is all about bringing that effort level up. Okay, and as I said, hitting more that 8, 9, even going towards the 10, but we're not going to any mechanical breakdown. Okay, so the intensity increases on week 2. Now, week 3, we're going to look at the reps. Now, week 3, you'll see that we introduce a rep range. So you'll see something like this. So you might see 6 to 8. Whereas on weeks 1 to 2, you would have had 6 reps or 8 reps, just one number. Week 3, as I said, you've got a rep range. All right. Now, what you can do with this is keeping the weight the same. We can now push how many reps we are doing. So we may have on a bench press, we may have completed the week before 6 reps. Well, let's now try and hit anywhere between 6 and 8 reps. So that week you might get 7, you might get 8, okay? So the overall volume is now creeping up, all right? And that is what we're going to be doing on week 3. On week 4, what you're going to look at doing is if you're hitting the top of that rep range, then you can add more weight to the bar or more weight to the machine. Okay? And that's how we're going to progress week on week. So week 1 is about getting comfortable and understanding the movements and hitting an RPE of around 7 to 8. Week 2 is about increasing that effort level to 8 to 9. Week 3 is about introducing the rep range. So now can I do more with the weight that I'm using? And week 4 is about adding more weight to the bar of the machine if we are hitting the top of those rep ranges. And that's how you can progress each week. When we've got RPE, we've got reps, okay? All those different things are really going to help us to progress. Now, there's a few other things I wanted to go through. The other one is sets. Now, that's pretty much going to stay the same over the 4 weeks. But if you wanted to progress beyond 4 weeks, then again, we've got another tool that we can use. We can then increase the sets. So going from 3 sets to 4 sets. You're going to be increasing the volume over the week that you're performing those movements. Okay? So there's another tool that you can implement. Another one is tempo, and I really want you to focus in on this because you're able to get quality work when you're looking at tempo. Now with tempo you will have 4 numbers, all right? The first number is the lowering phase where you're lowering the weight, okay? The second number is how long you're going to hold that weight at that bottom position. The third number is how quickly you're going to move it back up. And the fourth one is how long you're going to rest before you go again. So for instance, let's take a squat, a barbell back squat. We're going to lower for 3 seconds, so nice and slow on the way down. We're going to rest for 1 second at the bottom. We're going to raise it back up in 1 second, and there's no rest at the top. So as soon as you get to the top, you're back into your next rep. Now also we could do this with a bench press. We're going to lower down for 3, nice and slow, 1 second hold at the bottom, raise it back up in 1, nothing at the top, so we're back straight back in. So pay attention to what the tempo is doing. All right guys, so that in a nutshell is how we're going to progress week on week. These are the main things you need to look at and to consider. And as I've said before, please make sure to drop me a message if you're not sure about anything within this program. All right, guys, enjoy, take advantage of it, get into it, perform well, and I can assure you you'll see some great progress.